The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange stands today as one of the most important and transformative pieces of road infrastructure in the city of Accra, Ghana. Strategically located at the intersection of key road corridors, it connects major arterial routes such as the Graphic Road, Ring Road West, and the Kaneshie Mallam Highway. This interchange is more than just a set of elevated roads and roundabouts. It is a symbol of Ghana's commitment to easing urban congestion, boosting economic activity, and honouring one of the nation's most significant independence-era political figures, Emmanuel Odakwe Obetsebi Lamptey. Before its construction, the location was infamous for its gridlocked traffic jams that stretched for several kilometres, especially during peak hours. The bottleneck was a nightmare for commuters, traders, and transport operators alike. Every morning and evening, thousands of vehicles would crawl at a snail's pace, wasting countless hours and increasing the city's fuel consumption, air pollution, and economic losses. The project to build the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange was conceptualized as part of a broader national infrastructure improvement plan. It aimed to modernize the city's road network, improve mobility, and provide safe, reliable, and efficient transportation routes. The interchange was also designed to integrate seamlessly with other major road projects in Accra, such as the Pokwase Interchange, the Kwame Nkrumah Interchange, and the ongoing upgrades to the Terma motorway roundabout. What makes this interchange unique is that it was built not only as a transport solution, but also as a lasting tribute to a national hero. Naming it after Emmanuel Odakwe Obetsebi Lamptey ensures that every Ghanaian who passes through this landmark is reminded of the struggles and sacrifices that helped shape the country's independence. From its inception, the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange was seen as a high-priority urban project. Its location in the Kaneshie corridor, a hub for commerce, public transport, and daily economic activities, meant that any improvement here would have ripple effects across the city's economy. With multiple feeder roads linking residential neighbourhoods, marketplaces, and industrial areas, the interchange was envisioned as a traffic decongestion masterpiece that would restore efficiency to one of Accra's busiest zones. To truly understand the impact of the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange, one must look back to the traffic situation that existed before its construction. For decades, the Obetsebi Lamptey Circle was a major choke point in Accra's transport network. It connected vehicles coming from Mallam, Kaneshie, Korle Bu, Kwame Nkrumah Circle, and the Central Business District, CBD. This convergence of multiple traffic streams created one of the most notorious traffic jams in Ghana. On a typical weekday, vehicles could spend between 30 minutes to over an hour trying to navigate the circle, and that was just for a short stretch of road. The congestion was not only caused by the sheer volume of vehicles, several structural and operational challenges worsened the situation. Single-level roundabout design. The old traffic circle could not handle the growing volume of vehicles in a rapidly urbanizing city. Mixing of commercial and private traffic, public transport buses, trotros, taxis, long-distance coaches and private cars all competed for the same space. Pedestrian movement. The area is surrounded by markets, shops and businesses, leading to heavy pedestrian crossings that often clashed with vehicle movement. Street hawking and informal trading. Many traders sold goods right along the road shoulders, reducing effective lane width and causing unnecessary stoppages. Poor traffic signal synchronization. Traffic lights in and around the area often malfunctioned or were poorly timed, leading to inefficiency. The result was a vicious cycle. Congestion discouraged timely movement, delays increased fuel consumption, and this in turn raised transportation costs, which affected the prices of goods in nearby markets. This was not just a transportation problem, it was an economic problem. Businesses lost hours of productivity each day, public transport operators made fewer trips and earned less revenue, and the stress of daily commuting affected the quality of life for thousands of Accra residents. The government had long recognised this as a priority intervention point. Studies and traffic flow surveys from the Department of Urban Roads consistently identified the Obetsebi Lamptey Circle as one of Accra's top 3 congestion hotspots, alongside the Kaneshie Interchange and Kwame Nkrumah Circle before its own reconstruction. In addition to the transport inefficiencies, road safety was a major concern. With so many vehicles competing for space in a poorly designed roundabout, accidents were frequent. Minor fender benders were common, but more serious collisions also occurred, particularly during rush hours when drivers became impatient. The state of the road surfaces before the project was also poor. Potholes, faded lane markings, and inconsistent road signage made the situation worse, especially during rainy seasons when flooding would make navigation dangerous. By the mid-2000s teens, it was clear that incremental fixes would not be enough. The only sustainable solution was to redesign and reconstruct the entire junction into a modern multi-tier interchange capable of handling the city's traffic demands for decades to come. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange project officially began with a sod-cutting ceremony that marked the start of a long-awaited transformation of one of Accra's most congested road junctions. This ceremonial event was not just a political formality, it was a symbolic turning point for the city's transport system, promising relief to thousands of commuters and traders who battled daily traffic bottlenecks at the site. The sod cutting took place on November 25, 2019, and was presided over by the former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The event drew in ministers, engineers, members of parliament, traditional leaders, and a large crowd of residents and traders who wanted to witness the historic start of the project. In his address, President Akufo-Addo emphasized that the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange was part of the broader national plan to modernize Ghana's road infrastructure and to create safer, faster, and more efficient transportation networks in urban centers. He highlighted that the interchange would ease congestion significantly in one of Accra's busiest road corridors, improve productivity by reducing the number of hours lost in traffic, boost economic activity in surrounding communities, particularly Kaneshie and the central business districts. He also stressed the symbolic significance of naming the interchange after Emmanuel Odakwe Obetsebi Lamptey, describing him as a courageous patriot whose political activism contributed to Ghana's independence. The sod cutting was attended by Honourable Kwasi Amwako Alta, the then Minister for Roads and Highways, Honourable Elizabeth Saki, then former Deputy Greater Accra Regional Minister, traditional leaders from the GA community representing the cultural heritage of the area, representatives of the contractor, Queiroz Galvão, a Brazilian civil engineering company, officials from the Ghana Highway Authority and the Department of Urban Roads. The event also included traditional prayers and libations to seek blessings for the smooth execution of the project. For years, commuters had heard promises of a solution to the Obetsebi Lamptey traffic nightmare. This sod cutting was therefore met with cautious optimism. Many residents expressed hope that the project would indeed bring lasting relief, while others feared it might suffer delays, like other major road projects in Ghana. Infrastructure projects of this scale do not happen without significant financial investment, and the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange was no exception. The funding arrangements reflected a combination of government commitment, international partnerships, and strategic project planning. The entire project was estimated to cost around €135 million, covering Phase 1, construction of a flyover connecting the Kaneshie-Mallam Highway to the Ring Road West. Phase 2, additional flyovers, service roads, and landscaping to fully complete the interchange. The financing was secured through export credit facility from the United Kingdom. This provided a significant portion of the funds. Support from the Government of Ghana, direct budgetary allocations to complement the loan facility. Commercial credit arrangements. Partner banks worked alongside the primary lenders to facilitate smooth cash flow for the project. The financing structure was designed to ensure that payment schedules aligned with project milestones, avoiding unnecessary delays due to cash shortages. The main contractor, Kairos Galvo, had a proven track record of handling large-scale infrastructure works in Ghana, including parts of the Kwame Nkrumah Interchange. Consultants from the Department of Urban Roads and other engineering firms provided technical oversight to ensure compliance with international engineering standards. Securing funding for such a massive project required parliamentary approval. The Roads and Highways Ministry presented the project's details to lawmakers, outlining the cost-benefit analysis, the expected economic returns in terms of productivity and fuel savings, environmental and social impact assessments. The political consensus around the project was relatively strong, as congestion at Obetsebi Lamptey Circle was a non-partisan problem affecting all Ghanaians, regardless of political affiliation. This consensus helped speed up the approval process. The economic logic was straightforward: fuel savings. Reduced idle time in traffic meant less fuel consumption for thousands of vehicles daily. Lower maintenance costs, smooth traffic flow would reduce wear and tear on vehicles. Boost to commerce. Traders, transport operators, and service providers in the area would be able to serve more customers efficiently. Property value increase. Improved road infrastructure typically raises the value of surrounding land and properties. The funding arrangement ensured that Ghana could spread repayment obligations over time, minimizing the immediate financial burden on the state budget, while still delivering a transformative public infrastructure asset. The story of the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange is not just one of engineering and construction. It is also a story of political will, vision, and competition. In Ghana, large-scale infrastructure projects are often tied to the political climate in which they are conceived, funded, and executed. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange is no exception. While the sod cutting took place during the administration of the former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in November 2019, the discussions and preliminary studies for upgrading the Obetsebi Lamptey Circle had been ongoing for years, spanning multiple governments. The growing congestion at the circle was so severe that it had featured in transport policy discussions since the early 2000s. In his public statements, the former President Akufo-Addo stressed that the project was aligned with the National Development Plan to improve road connectivity and decongest key urban centres. He emphasised that infrastructure should not be politicised, but rather seen as a long-term national investment for the benefit of all Ghanaians. When the project's funding agreement was presented to Parliament, it drew some discussion, primarily over the cost, repayment terms, and the involvement of foreign contractors. However, the debates were less confrontational compared to other major projects. Even opposition members acknowledged that the interchange was badly needed. Some MPs used the opportunity to call for similar upgrades in other traffic hotspots in Accra and across the country. Although there was broad political agreement on the necessity of the interchange, the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP, took the opportunity to brand it as part of its Year of Roads initiative, which sought to deliver a record number of road projects within a short period. Billboards and political communications often highlighted the interchange alongside other major road developments, such as the Pokwas Interchange and the Tema Motorway Roundabout upgrade. From the public's perspective, the project was welcomed with cautious optimism. Many commuters hoped it would finally end the daily traffic chaos at the circle. Others, however, were sceptical due to past experiences with delayed projects. Public opinion polls conducted by radio and television stations during the construction period showed a mixed sentiment. Excitement about the potential benefits, but frustration about temporary diversions and increased congestion during construction. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange was designed to be constructed in two main phases to ensure that traffic could still flow, albeit with diversions, during the building process. Phase 1 began shortly after the sod cutting in late 2019. This phase focused on relocating public utilities. Electrical cables, water pipelines, and telecommunication lines had to be moved to clear the way for excavation. Demolitions, certain structures, including parts of roadside shops and informal trading stalls, were removed. The government provided some relocation support for affected traders. Building the first flyover. This connected the Kaneshie Mallam highway to the Ring Road West, allowing through traffic to bypass the old roundabout entirely. Drainage works. One of the critical issues at the old circle was flooding during heavy rains. Large underground drains were constructed to improve stormwater management. The first phase also included road widening and the creation of temporary diversions to allow for continued movement while major works were underway. By late 2021, Phase 1 was largely complete and open to traffic, providing some early relief from congestion. Phase 2 was more complex and aimed at completing the multi-tier interchange. It involved construction of additional flyovers to separate traffic moving in different directions, service roads and pedestrian walkways to improve accessibility and safety, landscaping and beautification. The project design included green spaces and street lighting to enhance the visual appeal of the interchange. Final road surfacing and markings to meet international highway standards. During Phase 2, the engineering team employed modern construction techniques such as precast concrete beams, which were assembled off-site and transported for installation. This helped reduce on-site construction time and minimize traffic disruption. The project faced several challenges. Traffic diversions, commuters experienced longer travel times during construction, and some businesses reported reduced customer access. COVID-19 pandemic. The outbreak in 2020 caused temporary slowdowns due to restrictions on movement and supply chain disruptions for construction materials. Utility relocation delays. Moving underground infrastructure took longer than expected, delaying some milestones. Weather conditions. Heavy rains occasionally halted work, especially during drainage construction. Despite these challenges, the contractors managed to keep the project largely on schedule, a testament to strong project management and political commitment. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange was built to modern safety and capacity standards, with multiple lanes in each direction to handle high traffic volumes, proper pedestrian crossings and sidewalks, LED street lighting for energy efficiency, improved road signage for navigation. By the time construction neared completion, the interchange had transformed the skyline of that part of Accra, turning what was once a traffic choke point into a landmark of modern urban engineering. After years of planning, funding negotiations, and intense construction work, the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange was officially commissioned in a ceremony that marked another milestone in Ghana's urban transport transformation. The commissioning took place in March 2024, with former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo officially opening the interchange to full traffic. The event attracted national media coverage, dignitaries, local traders, transport operators, and residents from surrounding communities. For many, it was a day of celebration, a symbol of progress, resilience, and forward-thinking governance. The commissioning was attended by former President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who delivered the keynote address, Francis Asenso Boakye, the former Minister for Roads and Highways, representatives from the Gay Traditional Council honouring the area's cultural heritage, officials from Kairos Galvo, the project's main contractor, Department of Urban Roads and Ghana Highway Authority engineers who supervised the project. Also in attendance were market queens, commercial drivers and traders, whose daily business activities are now directly impacted by the improved traffic flow. In his speech, the president highlighted that the interchange would significantly reduce travel time and improve productivity in the city. It forms part of a larger road network improvement plan that includes the Pokwas Interchange, Tamale Interchange, and the Tema Motorway Roundabout upgrade. The project demonstrates Ghana's capacity to execute complex infrastructure projects in partnership with international contractors and financiers. He also paid tribute to Emmanuel Odakwe Obetsebi Lamptey, noting his courage, patriotism, and sacrifices in Ghana's struggle for independence. The ceremony featured the unveiling of a commemorative sculpture and plaque bearing the name of the interchange and a stylized portrait of Obetsebi Lamptey. Traditional blessings were performed by gay chiefs, and cultural displays added a sense of heritage to the event. Local residents and commuters expressed relief and excitement. Many who had endured years of traffic bottlenecks praised the government for delivering on its promise. Traders near the interchange anticipated higher customer volumes due to easier accessibility. Since its completion, the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange has delivered tangible benefits across transportation, economic activity, and quality of life in Accra. One of the most immediate and visible impacts has been the dramatic reduction in travel time. Vehicles moving from Kaneshie towards the Central Business District, CBD, now experience smoother, uninterrupted flow. Peak hour congestion that once extended for kilometres has been reduced to manageable traffic levels. Traffic lights at the interchange operate more efficiently due to the separation of major traffic streams via flyovers. The interchange has stimulated commercial activity in the area. Traders in Kaneshie, Korle Bu and Odakwe report an increase in customers due to improved accessibility. Transport operators make more trips per day, increasing their income. Reduced delivery times for goods have improved supply chain efficiency for businesses. The old roundabout was prone to frequent accidents, particularly during rush hour. Now, lane separation and dedicated turning points have reduced collisions. Pedestrian crossings and sidewalks make it safer for foot traffic. Clear signage and road markings help drivers navigate without confusion. The modern design of the interchange, complete with street lighting, landscaped medians, and clean road surfaces, has improved the visual appeal of Accra's urban landscape. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange now stands alongside the Kwame Nkrumah Interchange and Pokwase Interchange as a defining landmark in the city. With less stop-and-go traffic, fuel consumption has dropped for daily commuters. Reduced idling extends engine life and lowers maintenance costs. Fewer potholes and better drainage prevent road damage to vehicles. By easing congestion in such a strategic location, the interchange opens the way for further urban redevelopment projects in Kaneshie and surrounding districts, integrates with the planned bus rapid transit BRT and potential light rail routes in Accra, serves as a model for multi-phase urban interchange development in other regions of Ghana. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange was born out of necessity. Its location, at the convergence of the Kaneshie-Mallam Highway, Ring Road West and Graphic Road, made it one of the busiest road junctions in Accra. To truly appreciate its impact, it's important to compare traffic conditions before construction, during the project, and after completion. Before construction began, the Obetsebi Lamptey Circle was widely regarded as one of the worst traffic bottlenecks in Ghana. Commuters faced morning rush hour, gridlock between 6:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. Vehicles moved at walking speed. It could take over 45 minutes just to navigate the circle. Evening rush chaos from 4:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Returning traffic from the CBD toward Kaneshie, Odakwe and Mallam was even worse. A journey that should have taken 5 to 10 minutes often took over an hour. mix of vehicle types, heavy trucks from the industrial areas, public buses, trotros, taxis, private cars and motorcycles all competed for space. Pedestrian and market activity. The circle is surrounded by shops and street hawkers, adding constant pedestrian crossings into the mix. Accidents. With the confusion of merging lanes and poor traffic light synchronization, accidents were frequent, causing even longer delays. This daily chaos resulted in lost productivity for workers, increased operating costs for businesses relying on deliveries, high fuel consumption and vehicle wear and tear, environmental pollution from idling engines. When construction began in late 2019, things initially got worse before they got better. Diversions and lane closures. Certain approaches to the circle were partially or fully closed at different stages of the project. Vehicles had to use detours through smaller residential streets, causing congestion in those areas too. Reduced lane capacity. Even where traffic was still flowing, lane reductions meant slower movement. Public complaints. Radio talk shows, social media, and commuter forums were filled with frustration. Many questioned whether the project could be completed on time. COVID-19 impact. The pandemic in 2020 briefly reduced traffic due to restrictions, which ironically helped the contractor speed up some works. However, global supply chain issues also caused delays in material delivery. Despite the inconveniences, the project team and the Ministry of Roads and Highways worked to communicate construction timelines, diversion maps, and safety tips to the public. Gradually, commuters began to see the flyovers take shape, sparking optimism. Since its commissioning in 2024, traffic flow at the interchange has improved significantly. Peak hour flow, where once vehicles crawled, now they move at steady speeds, even during rush hour. Reduced travel time. Commuters report saving 20 to 40 minutes on journeys through the interchange. Lower accident rates, separation of traffic streams via flyovers and better lane discipline have reduced collision rates. Better pedestrian safety. Clearly marked crossings and sidewalks make it safer for people to move around the area. Improved reliability for businesses. Delivery schedules are more predictable, allowing logistics and transport companies to operate more efficiently. While minor congestion still occurs during special events, breakdowns, or unusually high traffic volumes, the interchange has transformed what was once a symbol of urban frustration into a model of traffic management in Ghana. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange is more than a piece of infrastructure. It is a monument to one of Ghana's founding fathers, Emmanuel Odakwe Obetsebi Lamptey. Emmanuel Odakwe Obetsebi Lamptey, affectionately known as Liberty Lamptey, was born on 26 April 1902 in a Gar village near Ode, a suburb of Accra. Father Jacob Mills Lamptey, a businessman. Mother Victoria Eiley Tete. Stepbrother Gottlieb Ababio Adom, a noted educator, journalist and Presbyterian minister. From a young age, Obetsebi Lamptey demonstrated intelligence, leadership, and a deep interest in justice and governance. Attended Accra Wesleyan School and later Royal School. Studied law and earned an LLB. Called to the bar at the Inner Temple in London in 1939. Stayed in England during World War II, working and building connections that would later serve his political career. Upon returning to the Gold Coast, now Ghana, Obetsebi Lamptey became heavily involved in the independence movement. He was a founding member of the United Gold Coast Convention, UGCC, Ghana's first political party advocating self-governance. As part of the Big Six, alongside Kwame Nkrumah, J.B. Dankwa, William Ofori-Atta, Edward Akufo-Addo, and Ebenezer Akko-Adjei, he was arrested in 1948, following protests against British colonial rule. Known for his bold speeches, strategic thinking, and commitment to justice, he inspired many to fight for Ghana's independence. First married Margaretha, a Dutch woman with whom he had 2 sons, Jake Obetsebi Lamptey, later a prominent NPP politician, and Ne Lamkwe Afadi Obetsebi Lamptey. Later married Augustina Akworko Kofié, a Ga woman and co-founder of the Gold Coast Women's Association. They had 2 children, Na Ayele and Ni Lante. Augustina Kofié later became Ghana's first female envoy to Liberia and was active in philanthropy. Died on 29 January 1963 after battling cancer. Remembered as a fearless advocate for freedom, a strategist in the independence struggle, and a man whose work helped lay the foundation for Ghana's sovereignty. The decision to name the interchange after him was both symbolic and historic, ensuring that his legacy is woven into the daily lives of Ghanaians. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange is not just a transport solution. It's a statement of Ghana's urban ambition, engineering capability, and respect for history. Its long-term legacy will be felt in multiple dimensions. The interchange now stands as one of Accra's key traffic hubs, alongside Kwame Nkrumah Interchange, Pokuase Interchange, Tema Motorway Roundabout. These form the backbone of a more connected and efficient city, easing the movement of goods and people across the capital. Infrastructure drives economic growth, and the interchange has already begun to attract new businesses to the Kaneshie and Korle Bu corridors, boost the real estate market by increasing land and property values, enhance logistics by enabling faster movement of goods from the western and central parts of Accra to the CBD. The sleek design, street lighting, landscaped areas, and improved pedestrian facilities contribute to a modern urban skyline, renewed civic pride among residents who see tangible improvements in their city. The interchange becoming a photographic landmark for media, tourists, and locals alike. By naming it after Emmanuel Odakwa Obetsebi Lamptey, the government ensured that the sacrifices of Ghana's independence leaders remain in public memory. Future generations learn about the Big Six and their fight for freedom. Infrastructure serves both a functional and educational purpose. The successful execution of the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange sets a precedent for phased construction to minimize disruption, integration of drainage, pedestrian facilities, and landscaping in road projects, public-private and international financing models for large-scale works. The interchange's design incorporates LED street lighting for energy efficiency, durable road surfacing to withstand heavy traffic volumes, proper drainage systems to prevent flooding. If maintained properly, it could serve the city for decades, reducing the need for costly early rehabilitation. The Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange is more than just an engineering project. It's a symbol of progress, a boost to the economy, and a living tribute to a national hero. From the nightmare traffic jams of the past, through the dust and diversions of construction, to the smooth flow and urban beauty of today, it tells a story of vision, patience, and determination. For commuters, it means shorter journeys and less stress. For businesses, it means more reliable operations and higher productivity. For Ghana as a nation, it stands as proof that modern infrastructure can be built to world-class standards, while honouring the legacy of those who fought for independence. If you've watched this far, you know the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange isn't just a road project, it's a turning point in Accra's transport history. As we drive into the future, projects like this remind us that with proper planning, investment, and commitment, Ghana can continue to modernise its cities, improve quality of life, and inspire national pride. If you found this video informative, like the video to support our work. Subscribe to our channel for more in-depth features on Ghana's infrastructure projects. Share this video with friends, family, and colleagues who care about Ghana's development. Comment below with your experiences using the Obetsebi Lamptey Interchange. We'd love to hear from you.